schedules are there, and what is the basic structure of the constitution? Just 1 minute. We have preamble and 470 articles. 470 articles, and in schedule what we keep is certain things we keep. We mention, suppose you take one schedule where it is mentioned that state list, central list, and concurrent list. So we'll explain in that schedule in the state list. Likewise, it gives power on that schedule to state. It gives power to central on particular thing. So that is schedules. Yes, any other questions?
Any other questions, children? I think they will go through the whole thing, sir, once again.
Okay.
And in the next class, if they have any questions, they'll put it.
Yes.
Yes.
So I need to explain to you in the next class 3 aspects. What is basic structure of the constitution? How basic structure or anything in the constitution can be amended, and then time is important actually in constitution also. There are 5 aspects which we have to understand in constitution. One is presidential reference, especially for the IAS trainee students. What is presidential reference, and how many times presidential reference is used, and what are those? For example, first presidential reference is Babri Masjid Ram Janmabhoomi Bhoomi case, M. Ismail Farooq etc. versus Union of India. This is 1950-1995 first case. That is one aspect which we have to deal. Then constitutional prescriptions as regards to time. That is also very important for the IAS students. Constitutional prescriptions as regards to time. The third one is duties and functions of the President of India. This is very, very important, because whenever there are different aspects to be implemented, suppose state and center wants to put governor's governor rule in the state. The President of India, whether he has got power, what to be done if he implements, whether the Supreme Court has got the power of review over the decision of the President of India. There are cases where President has imposed the rule of governor's rule, and the Honorable Supreme Court held that governor's rule is illegal. Suppose take the case of Andhra Pradesh and combined Andhra Pradesh. There is a case pending now. Suppose tomorrow Honorable Supreme Court says, no, that bifurcation of making 2 states is illegal, then what happens? So the powers of the President of India we must know. Then constitutional bar as to the jurisdiction of courts. This is another important thing. If really interested, I will take 5 classes. If you are interested, because IAS people, you must have knowledge of all these things. It's not like other exams. For other exams, you don't require all these things. If you want really a constitutional expert, if they are going to ask you a question, what are the constitutional bar as to the jurisdiction of courts? You will not be able to answer it unless an experienced person like me tell you what these are the provisions, these are the articles which they explain to you. Then constitutional requirement as to age. Suppose if somebody asks, what is the age required to have a franchise? What is the age to claim yourself as a minor? Major. For girls, how much? For boys, how much? This is constitutional requirement as to age. Then date, cut-off date is also given. Suppose if you say that I am 18 years, what is the date that has to be calculated as the first day for claiming yourself as 18 years? Has to be enrolled as a voter and exercise right to vote 18 years by 1st January of the year of election. This is important. 1st January of the year of election is the criteria. Suppose 2021 is the election year. If you have not completed by 1st January of 2021, though by the date of election you have completed 18 years age, you are not entitled to vote. Likewise, there are about 12 articles which says about certain ages required. Suppose you want to become a judge, what is the age? Now there is a concept going on to increase the term of the Chief Justice of Supreme Court. Likewise, today Justice Honorable K.K. Venugopal, Senior Advocate AG, he has said that every Chief Justice after swearing in ceremony must have at least 3 years age, 3 years for functioning as a Chief Justice. So they want to make a law. Now Parliament wants to make a law to conduct elections 5 years for all election on one day. All elections. You will have 10 votes, one for MP, another for MLA, another for your chairman, municipal chairman, another for panchayat, all elections. At one time it must go. Can we have this law? A debate is going on. Definitely this sort of questions they will ask you in an interview. They will ask you in the exam. If somebody asks you a question, what are the qualifications to become a Supreme Court judge? If he asks you a question that whether a law degree is required to become a Supreme Court judge, even the judges and the advocates will say, yes, he must have a law degree. But it is not so. A judge of Supreme Court doesn't require to have a law degree. If he is a jurist in the opinion of the President of India, then he can be appointed. One person is appointed already. Why this concept of such a thing has happened, you know? We had Privy Council. We can't imagine a situation where Privy Council decided in England about the rights of us in India. Can you imagine a foreigner deciding about our rights? Such was the situation. Then what are the cases that were going to Privy Council? Not all the cases. That's why I said that the jurisdiction of courts. Only property cases, they were going into the Privy Council, not personal liberty cases. What is the reason? The then English system, even the present constitution, they had given more protection to the property than personal liberty. Why? If you don't have property, if you don't have the protection to the property in a proper way, in an extremely secured way, you can't enjoy the life. You can't enjoy the right to life. So it's mixed. That's why in Privy Council, there were judges appointed without law degree. They were seeing the law, not the law. The girl was asking me, what is the difference between law and justice? The judges of the Privy Council, they were looking at the justice. Whether this particular decision, if I make, people will feel that it is justice is done. So that is the reason why in under Article 142, which I read at the beginning of this class, that the judges are empowered. The judges of the Supreme Court are empowered to do complete justice and make an order violating the law. A judge can violate the law. Can you imagine why this power is given to the judges? Sometimes the law doesn't meet the ends of justice. The orders of the courts doesn't meet the ends of justice. In order to meet the ends of justice, some power the court must have. That's why there is one section in CPC 151 which says that nothing in this court shall be deemed to limit or otherwise affect the inherent powers of the court. A court will always have inherent power in order to do complete justice to the parties. Sometimes law may not be there. For example, in India, there is no law like in Canada and the US regarding how to manage if a person become dead corpse. He is living, but he can't move. He doesn't have brain. He is in the bed. He is having lot of property. He wants treatment. Nobody is coming forward to spend money. The wife is not having money, but property belongs to that person who is on the bed, deathbed. He is alive. Crores of rupees, suppose let us say, he is having crores of rupees property worth, but nobody is giving any money. What to be done? In India, there is no such law. In England, in Canada, there is a law. Recently, I came across a case where that man wants to have a reasonable, proper death. One lady, she sent the papers to me. Then I prepared a deed. That deed is illegal in India because there is no such law in India. There is no law to deal with the property of a person whose mental brains are not working. If he dies, LRs will get the property. If he is alive, then you have to approach the honorable court for appointing him as a guardian. When he is alive, suppose he is not able to function, it all will take lot of time before which he dies. So, Privy Council judges were not having the law degrees. Even if they don't have the law degree, they are appointed. Same is the case in India also. Supreme Court judge can be appointed even without he is having a law degree if he is a jurist in the opinion of the Honorable President of India. So any question, 5-10 minutes are there. Anybody relating to constitution or anything, because we have time now. Next class we will deal with 5 aspects.
Yes, sir.
If you are interested.
Meanwhile, they will go through it also, sir. Next
Yes.
Saturday again we'll have the class. Fine.
Okay. Any question if anybody is having in the mind? Anybody? Okay then.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Sridhar Garu, Ravi Kumar Garu. Thank you. I'll end the session, students.